coming to you from an undisclosed location somewhere deep in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains. I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli. Welcome to another episode of sort of politics, prophecy, and the supernatural. We're going to get into something, but first, a word from our very trusted sponsor. Have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? I recently saw a video he made, and I was shocked. He's in his mid-80s and still kicking butt and working out and staying active. What's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left over for his grandkids. He did this by just making one change. He says he still feels like he's in his 50s. His wife even started doing this one thing too, and she's never felt better. She says she feels 10 years younger. Her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day. Chuck made a special video that explains everything. Make sure you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/LA or by clicking in the link below this video. It will change the way you think about your health. Once again, that's chuckdefense.com/LA. And click on the link in the description below to watch the video now. You won't believe how simple it is. Just a reminder, the legendary Chuck Norris is a whopping 84 years old and yet has more energy than I do. He discovered he could create dramatic changes to his health simply focusing on three things that sabotage our body as we go. Watch his method by clicking the link in the description box below. chuckdefense.com/LA. Once again, that's chuckdefense.com/LA. Okay, I'm going to run the clip and then I'm going to weigh in on it. This is Representative Anna Paulina Luna. She is incredible. She really is. She's an amazing woman.
Prairie list is Epstein, 9/11.
And our first investigation will be announced, but it's going to be covering on a thorough investigation into the John F. Kennedy assassination. And I can tell you, based on what I've been seeing so far, the initial hearing that was actually held here in Congress was actually faulty in the single bullet theory. I believe that there were two shooters, and we should be finding more information as we are able to gain access into the SCIF, hopefully before the files are actually released to the public.
Okay, I'm going to play that again because it's that important. Here we go.
Our first investigation will be announced, but it's going to be covering on a thorough investigation into the John F. Kennedy assassination. And I can tell you, based on what I've been seeing so far, the initial hearing that was actually held here in Congress was actually faulty in the single bullet theory. I believe that there were two shooters. And
Can I stop it right there? Let's stop it right there. I was 13 years old when JFK was gunned down on the streets of Dallas. As a 13-year-old, I was becoming aware. That's sort of the age of accountability, isn't it? Where a little boy begins to realize certain things. And oftentimes, as a child, as a 13-year-old teenager, it's hard to articulate what we're seeing or feeling, in other words, putting it into words. As an adult, I watched Lee Harvey Oswald get gunned down that Sunday. My dad and I were getting ready to go to the church. Probably one of the last times I ever went to the Catholic Church before I just left and joined the New Age, but I digress. And we're watching the news. There's only 3 channels in. This is 1963. I'm 13. And we watch on television Lee Harvey Oswald get shot, live TV. And my dad goes, my dad couldn't believe it. He was absolutely taken aback by what had happened. And as a child, I'm going like, I just saw someone get shot. It's my first real murder that I've ever seen in my life. And I was absolutely appalled. I just was shocked by what I had seen, of course, all the commotion. I have been a student of the assassination since the Goofy Warren report came out. I say goofy because that's what it is. I think it's a blatant cover-up. I'm entitled to my opinion, but I think it's a blatant cover-up. They completely, and I could go down a very deep rabbit hole here. I have been a student, as I said, I've been a student of the assassination. I've been to the kill site, I think, 3 times. The first time I was there, I was with Richard Shaw and Rob Skiba and Rob Skiba's wife. All 3 have passed away. That in itself is very sobering. Rick died 6 years ago. Sheila Skiba died very recently, and Rob during the COVID epidemic. So, yeah. So Sheila, I'm in the front seat. Rob is driving. Richard's in the back with the camera rolling. And Sheila's next to me. And we're driving down Dealey Plaza. And she goes, to your right, that's the book depository. The X right here is where the first shot comes from, where Kennedy grabs his throat. There's the grassy knoll. There's the picket fence. And here's the X where the headshot happens. It all goes by as a blur. And we go around the block. Now we're in the parking lot of the 6th-floor museum, the Book Depository Museum. And I literally jump out of the car and run. And I mean run through the grassy knoll. I've seen this thing since I was 13. Now I'm there. And I have to tell you, folks, it's a very compact area. It's not this wide open expanse, which is what I thought from the television. It's very compact. The book depository's here. Here's Elm. The first shot, there's the sign. You can go. They haven't changed it. You can go where Abraham Zapruder filmed what was the most, in my opinion, telling documented evidence of the assassination. Because Zapruder's going like this, and Kennedy comes out of the sun, and he's reaching for his throat. I believe that first shot, okay, the shot where Kennedy's hit, comes from the front, comes from the double overpass. That's conjecture. However, people have stated on the record that the windshield, the presidential windshield, front windshield, there's a hole in it. People saw it. People photographed it. And that windshield, of course, the limo was scrubbed down. Let's destroy all the evidence, right? Scrubbed down, limousine shipped out, and then the windshield is replaced. And the old windshield is completely destroyed. How convenient is that? Who's got the power to do that? So Kennedy goes like this. The doctors at Parkland Hospital believe that was an entrance wound to Kennedy's throat. Not an exit wound, an entrance wound. The doctors at Parkland were familiar, some of them, with gunshot wounds. And they stated on the record, this is a entrance wound. But the most telling moment, so Kennedy's riding like this, Jackie leans forward, and then when she's out of the way of the kill shot, the shot is fired, in my opinion, from the grassy knoll. There's your two shooters right there. Oswald never pulled the trigger that day. I think next Monday we're actually going to have Lee Harvey Oswald's girlfriend on the record here. And it'll be a very interesting interview, especially in light of everything that's going on. So that shot comes from the grassy knoll. Kennedy's head goes back and to the left, back and to the left, back and to the left. That's the whole nexus of the JFK film. So there were two shooters, in my opinion, at least two shooters, possibly three. But did Lee Harvey Oswald have anything to do with it? Absolutely not. Guy's a patsy. He even says, I'm a patsy. So it's amazing that Anna Paulina Luna is going out with this and stated that on the record, that from the evidence that she's seen, there were two shooters. It's been what? 61 years? And I commented on this right here on YouTube a while back, that last year's anniversary, which was the 60th anniversary of the JFK assassinations, I believe, 60, 61, I have to do the math, but right around that. Point I'm trying to make is there wasn't a peep about it anywhere last November. Not a peep. Not a peep. Nobody covered it that I saw. Nobody. It was like it never even happened. We need to get to the bottom of this, because something in our country died that day in Dallas, and it's never been rectified until now. And we know that our President Trump has had 2 assassination attempts on him. I just watched a program, thank you, Matt Brunet, for sending it to me. It was on the Alex Jones show. It was with Doug Hadman. And, I've been on Doug's show, I don't know, half a dozen times anyway. And Doug was assigned by President Trump to go to Butler and nose around. He was escorted from the site twice. We still know nothing about the shooter. And Mr. Hagman says on the record that there is still a network that's connected to certain government agencies which are still attempting to assassinate our president. Why? Just look what's going on. Look at Doge. Look at the pushback from the left that we're getting. He's not an elected official. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Right? All this crazy stuff. Excuse me. We found how many billions of dollars in government waste? What do you care about? Do you care about the fact that Elon Musk wasn't elected but appointed? Is that all you got? That's it? That's all you got to say? Not a peep about the government waste that he's uncovering? I mean, have you lost your marbles? Let's go into your checkbook, Mr. and Mrs. Politician, who were standing up, ranting and raving against what's going on. So if, let's say you said, somehow I've got all this money, but it's not showing up in my account. So you hire an accountant, and he goes in and goes, oh, look, this, and this. Somebody's tapped into your account and is taking $200 a month from you without you knowing it. What? That's exactly what you would do, Mr. and Mrs. Politician. You'd be happy that someone went into your account and found out where the bleeding was. Well, that's what Doge is doing. Wake up, America. Finally, we're getting our country back, at least at some level. At least at some level. Trump's been in office, 21 days, 22 days? Whatever it is, 23 days maybe? And look what he's done already. By the way, Tulsi Gabbard got confirmed today. Watch what happens next. So, that's it. I've always believed that there was a conspiracy. I believe that the Warren Commission was a massive cover-up. Remember, Alan Dulles was on the committee. Alan Dulles was fired by Kennedy. Alan Dulles was head of the CIA. Kennedy had threatened to shatter the CIA in 1,000 pieces. Gee, I wonder who's saying that again today. To take us off the Federal Reserve? Trump is threatening that? Put us back on the gold standard, perhaps, we'll see, and to bring our troops home from the war. Strike three, JFK. We still don't know where his brain is. The forensics of the brain would show that the bullet came from the front. There's a film, if you really want to do a deep dive, watch Parkland. Many of the people who were interviewed have now died. In fact, when they filmed it 10 years ago, they waited 10 years before they released the film. Who's afraid? And why are they afraid? Why are they afraid? Anyway, Monday, I will be interviewing Lee Harvey Oswald's girlfriend. That should be interesting. Please keep us in your prayers. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget runsofdisclosure.com, runsofdisclosure.com. There's the book, the 10-box DVD set. I will be at my first conference in March, Prophecy Watchers Conference in Orlando. I'm still wrestling what I'm going to speak about. Too much information, not enough time to speak. But I hope to see you there. Peggy, my lovely wife, will be there, and we will be talking about all of this. Thanks so much for watching. Please keep us in your prayers. The enemy is real. The attacks are ongoing. And thank you. Thank you for coming here. And thank you for watching. God bless you all.